Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome.
There been a very serious confusion again in the palace, and this time it is Igby who has, who has disappeared from the radar for a very long time, that is causing these problems again. And this has got to do with, that Sappy and Angel's marriage that Ooni of Ife and Dr. Elizabeth attended in Bayelsa. It was Igby that was supposed to go with Ooni of Ife, but if you notice what has been going on, you find out that the gap between Ooni of Ife and his wife is even widening. Right now, it's like Ooni is deliberately building that gap, because he is focused on Olori Naomi and the full moon ritual, and he wants Naomi back. So they said Igby's name was on that list to go with Ooni of Ife to Bayelsa, but when it got to that day, a day before, he changed the list and automatically, opted to go with Dr. Elizabeth. Now, you know why this is happening. Dr. Elizabeth is in a very good place with Olori Naomi and the Ooni of Ife. That woman seemed to have been so well brought up and everything. When you see her humility and everything, okay? And so, Ooni of Ife, knowing that if he went with Dr. Elizabeth, it's going to be very good, as in Naomi will not see anything wrong with it. They said he chose to go with Dr. Elizabeth. But it might not just really be because Naomi will see something or Naomi will not see something. Maybe, just maybe, he just had to go with, one of the wives who is supporting him. So they said Igby came and Igby made so much trouble. Igby made so much trouble over this. As we are hearing, if the information is true, they say the palace of the Ooni of Ife is in turmoil once again, and this time the tears are not hidden behind veils or dignified silence, okay? Igby, once firm in her position as, Ooni of Ife's most visible wife, okay, has found herself suddenly swept, aside again, and this time in a moment so public, so deliberate that even even Palace 8 could not hold back their shock. It all began when the invitation arrived from, for this Sappy's wedding. Now, Sappy and Angel, from what I heard, they said they got married in Bayelsa, but some people are saying another marriage held in South Africa, London, and all of that. I don't know about that, okay? Now, Sappy and Angel are from, two royal family, okay? Sappy and Angel, they say two royal family associates of the Ooni of Ife, known in close circles as the children of a longtime friend and political ally of the Ooni, were set to wed, okay? Now, they said this wedding, the invitation got to the Ooni of Ife in what many were calling the wedding of the year. Sappy is the son of Chief Mbata, a wealthy royal from, I don't know where they said the man is from, okay? Maybe you have detail about these people. Well, if you have detail, you want to share it in the comment section. But one thing that I do know is that they are very good, as in these people are very close to the Ooni of Ife. Some are saying one is from here, the other ones are saying there, the other ones are saying Bayelsa and all of that. So I'm not going to come here and tell you what I don't know. I don't really have the detail, but I do know that something has happened. They say Igby had prepared for this trip for weeks. Her team had sourced exquisite gown. Her makeup artist was already, flown from Lagos. Okay, she had even called some of her friends discreetly, to wait for her right there. And at the end of the day, they said 3 days before departure, everything changed. A quiet meeting took place behind closed doors, and when the final list of official entourage members was released, Igby's name was absent. In her place, Dr. Elizabeth's name, calm, graceful, always playing the background, but, lately rising steadily in the Ooni's eyes, and just like that, Igby's wall shattered, okay? You know something? Dr. Elizabeth is not a loud person. She's somebody who is always there supporting her husband from the background, but I think that recently Dr. Elizabeth is beginning to gain so much influence. I'm not just saying this because she accompanied Ooni of Ife to that wedding, whether the wedding took place in Bayelsa or wherever, South Africa or Johannesburg or wherever the wedding took took place. They said one here, one in London, and all of that. Okay, now they say Dr. Elizabeth is actually beginning to gain so much influence in the palace of the Ooni of Ife, because they say right there inside the palace, every small thing Ooni would prefer to call Dr. Elizabeth. Every small thing Ooni would prefer to call Dr. Elizabeth right now. And they say that is what is happening. They say Ife stormed out of her chambers, tears running, freely demanding answers. The Ooni's aide avoided her. One of them whispered what she's already feared. His Majesty says Dr. Lizzie will be representing, will be traveling with him. He is not comfortable traveling with you anymore. And they said that was what one of the aides said to Ife, and Ife was so mad, not comfortable. A wife, a queen, replaced publicly like that, because one of the things that really embarrassed her wasn't even the fact that she did not go with the Ooni of Ife, but the way that the Ooni of Ife chose to replace her was what really embarrassed her. They said the palace was silent, but the whispers were loud. It wasn't just about the trip, it was about what everyone had already seen coming. The Ooni of Ife is changing. His heart is no longer divided, his focus is clear, and it's all on Queen Naomi. And that is one thing that these Oloris cannot even stand to say. You see, since Queen Naomi's quiet return to royal favor, the palace dynamics have been tense. The Ooni, despite all the noise and conflict, has not hidden his devotion to Naomi. Every ritual, every festival, every sacred night, Naomi is present in spirit, all body, and most recently preparations have been on the way for the sacred full moon ritual, a ceremony said to be spiritually significant for the royal lineage. Okay, this ritual, according to palace tradition, requires presence of the woman whose spirit is most aligned with the king, and that is Dr. Elizabeth. Now, you all recall when, they just got married to her, she was very vocal and, influential. She was really, really influential at that time. Everybody was, tilting towards her direction, even the Ooni of Ife sisters and all of that. She was like a demigod, okay, in the palace. But right now, they said that she has been so isolated. They said she sobbed uncontrollably, in her chamber. Okay, they say she was crying, using Yoruba to say that it looks as though she's losing her husband. She cried to her confidence from what we are hearing. Is this because of Queen Naomi? Is all my effort, all my sacrifices meaningless? That was what they said she was saying, and she was asking series of questions over what is going on in her life and the life of the Ooni of Ife. They said at some point, from what we are hearing, if the information is true, I'm still finding it difficult to even believe this one. They say she was crying that they warned her. They said, don't fight Naomi. They said no woman can stand in her place. I thought it was, palace gossip, but now I know the Ooni never stopped loving her. We fought, we resisted, and now I am alone. They did it, okay? That this is what people are doing to her. And right now, everybody in the palace has turned against her. They are making her look like the real enemy to Ooni of Ife and Queen Naomi, and that's the reason why Kabiyesi is so angry with her. But one thing about people is that I think that the best way to understand life better is when you begin to take responsibility for your action. A lot has happened in the palace, and who says that Kabiyesi doesn't feel bad about the things that have happened, transpired in the palace? It's been terrible. From, if not hermaphrodite, to go and swear you have not gone to swear and all of that. Is it to go and do the hermaphrodite punishment, the penance? No, penance is the one you do by yourself. She has not gone because families will not allow. Everybody is influencing this. So how is Ooni of Ife supposed to forgive? You cannot just begin to forgive people when you feel like they are not remorseful. Maybe that is the reason why Kabiyesi is treating her the way he is right now. Now, from the beginning, I've told you people, Dr. Elizabeth has always been the quiet one. She said nothing to the press. Dr. Elizabeth, of course, whether they travel, they leave her there or she will stay. if they don't leave her there, whatever Kabiyesi says is what she does. She's not there to argue or struggle position with anybody. When she came, she studied her environment. She saw that Kabiyesi loved Queen Naomi. Okay, when Kabiyesi introduced her as one of the queens, to Queen Naomi, and that time there was so much turbulence between Kabiyesi and Olori Naomi. She studied the situation and understood that, look, this man really loved this woman, and began to, support Olori Naomi and Kabiyesi. Have you seen how this has made her to gain influence? She is gaining influence so much. Now, in few days ahead from what we are hearing, they said that the full moon ritual will happen, okay? And she's the only one who will be there also to support Olori Naomi and to support Kabiyesi. And so if Kabiyesi will not stand, if Kabiyesi will not choose her over others, who do you think Kabiyesi would choose? This is what we are hearing, and this is what is going on. I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged rumors, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.